Hello, hello. Good morning and good afternoon. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining in today. I'm going to give it like a minute or two, just for everybody to flow in. We won't have a PowerPoint presentation today. We're going to get straight into the demonstration so that we can spend time talking about the steps, spend time answering some questions. So we'll be jumping right away into the demo. So I'm going to wait a minute or two. Let me know that you can hear me, that you can see me. Hello from Montreal. Is that AZ, Arizona, Carol? Welcome, everyone. Indiana. So I am currently Sarasota. Okay, Carol. Oh, perfect. You guys can hear me? Good, good, good. Montreal. We got a couple from Montreal. Oh, we got a lot from Montreal. Well, welcome, everyone. Bonjour et bienvenue. Colleen from Ontario. That's where I'm from. So I'm from Ontario, Canada. Ohio, New Mexico. Jen, welcome, Jen. Hello from Kelowna, Canada, Vancouver. Mount Dora. Where's Mount Dora? Beth, remind me where that is. Okay, everybody can hear me and see me. Awesome. Hi from Lux Wholesale. Hello, ladies. Oh, the messages are coming in so quick. Manitoba. Hi, Natalie. Oh, thank you. It's longer. It always changes. Thank you for being on here, Natalie. Say Augustine. Okay, I'm here with my daughter Emily. She is waving and saying hi too. Hi. I say hi to Samantha. What's your and Emily? Hi, Samantha and Emily. Welcome, everyone. So cute. So I'm hoping everybody's having a wonderful day. We have snow today, but it's not a lot of snow. We were from shorts and t-shirts, high of like 30 degrees the weekend, and now we're back to like 2 or 3 degrees with snow. It's Canada. What can you do? Hi from California. Lots from California too, so welcome. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Okay, so we can actually we'll begin. So actually during my demonstration, because we're not going to do any PowerPoint, we're going to go straight into the demonstration. You can ask me any of the questions that you would like, and I'll be able to answer them. I have my PowerPoint with me. I'm trying to do a different setup with the camera, just so that you guys, okay, just so you guys have a better view of it. Let me know. I'm going to try. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to connect the other camera. Hi from Alberta. I'm on my phone and wonder how to make your square bigger on the screen. You should have Well, the PowerPoint has to be big. Well, there's no PowerPoint. The bigger screen that's not my face in it, keep it that way because it's going to show the model's face. You guys don't need to see me. You guys need to see the model and her brows. So if that's what you're trying to do, let me know. I just haven't put the model yet on. So maybe once I put that, Lisa, you'll be able to see it better. So let me just connect my other camera. Awesome. Welcome everyone who's been messaging. Thank you so much. There's so many messages going through. We got a full house today. So we almost have 200, we have 300 registered, but we're almost reaching the 150 mark of people who signed in. So it's a lot of you guys. So I thank you so much for your support. Okay, so let me switch up the camera and see with the model. Let me put the screen. Oops. That's to me, but we don't want to see me. So let me put the Logitech Brio. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to do it instead of a bird's eye view. I just from taking other people's feedback and stuff. I'm trying to do it from a front view as opposed to bird's eye view. So let me just see if I can correct that. Sorry, I did disconnect by accident. The camera cord disconnected. Can you guys hear me now? If there's any questions, just hold on to them and repeat them again because I'm not able to see the questions now. I need to just set up the camera. But I see that the camera is not positioned properly. Let me just correct that. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this over and you guys are gonna let me know, is this a better view? I feel like the camera is showcased better like this, right? Let me know. Because now you can see like almost like a frontal, I suppose a bird's eye view. You get to see the brow like how you would see them when you're looking at them in person. Is that okay? Please let me know. Yeah? More light. I don't know if I can do this one because I can't move this now. So let me just see. Sorry, now it's just a little bit blurry. Give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. Okay, is that better? It's the as much lighting as I can get, but just let me know if that's okay, and we can begin. So if there was a question that somebody had asked, I'm going to get to you. Let me just put my gloves on. If you keep it straight, yeah. What happens when you flip your head sideways? It goes blurry. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put my gloves on and we're going to get started. Okay, perfect. Okay, so everybody can see that. So I'm testing out the new view. If you guys feel like it's good. For the ones that have sat in the webinars before, you've seen the view that I've done other times. So I'm just testing out differently because we want to do what will make it better for you guys when you're watching these, okay? So hopefully if this works out, you'll let me know at the end as well. So as long as everybody can hear and see me now, we'll begin. Our webinar today is on brow lamination, just regular tinting. We've done so many of the the intense browns tinting, and we'll do a lot more of those webinars coming up. But now it's like getting ready for the summer season, educating as well with the oxidative tints would be great after a brow lamination. So it's all about the brows today. We're going to do that, and we're going to be able to see how we can create more volume, fullness, filling any gaps, any sparseness, and just getting, like I said, summer ready where we can be out in the heat and without having to wear so much makeup, and our brows can look presentable. Okay, so we're going to start with the brow lamination first. So as I said, you guys can ask questions during this portion because I'm able to answer them. So with the brow lamination, for anybody that's new, and actually you can message it in the chat. If this is your if this is your first time on a webinar from RefectoCil, type that in, let us know. If this is not your first time, but it's going to be now your first time that you're going to be doing brow lamination and you really want to learn and be able to offer this, let me know that too. So first time at our webinar, first time brow lamination, let us know. So there's a lot of first time. Nice. Okay, so a lot of new ones in the webinar. That's exciting. Well, welcome. Okay. First time lamination, yeah, lots of you guys. Wow. Okay. That's exciting though. Either or, if it's your first time in the webinar, well, welcome because you get to see what we do in educating people how to use RefectoCil for your lash and brow styling services. But if it's also your first time doing brow lamination, you're going to be able to see how easy this service is. Extremely easy. Yes, you need precautions like meaning take care. It's chemical processing. Talk to your client, get to understand their skin type and so forth, any allergies, and understanding what kind of brow look they want. So I'm not showing a PowerPoint, but when you go on our website, which I will show a slide at the end, all our websites has all the protocols and the brochure of the 3 different types of brow looks, because not everybody's going to want a soapy brow. So I'm going to just, we haven't relaxed her brows, but a soapy brow, all the brows are upwards like this from the beginning to the end. So it's a very, wild look. Not for everybody. The brow lamination look, the laminated look, everything is just pressed down and rounded to the shape of the brow bone, but each hair is individualized, pressed very down, and has that sheen. Once again, that could not be for everybody. The most popular one that we do is called the fluffy feathery, where your brows are upwards in the beginning a little bit because that creates that lift as well. And then they round off. So you get the best of both worlds. You get your soapy and then you get your laminated, but it's more of a feathery type. You don't have to press it down to have that sheen look. Okay. So I took this webinar during lockdown, but never tried it on a client. Okay. Well, Colleen, this is going to help you get back to it. Okay. And eventually try it out. Do you laminate before tint? You laminate first and then you tint. First time brow lamination from BC. Perfect. Can you do lamination twice in a row if I really don't take the first time? So we're going to explain this. Let me start prepping while I'm explaining that. So our first step is to prep with our makeup remover. Oh, excuse me, one thing. I don't see a makeup remover. Give me 1 minute. Just 1 minute, please. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to start off first with the makeup remover. Wondering for new intense browns, color affirmation, do we still need primer? The primer is for the skin staining, Miriam. So you would need it. Even though the brows might look a little bit fuller, maybe if they had a very sparse brow, you would still need to use the primer. Can you do lamination twice in a row? Okay, so the timing of the solutions, the new ones, are 6 and 4 minutes. Okay, so they work faster. If you have somebody that has unruly brows, like initially you look at them and their brows are very unruly, very coarse, and potentially like a lot of grays in it, so it looks even more wiry, you would have to do the 8 and 5. And as well, if you're doing it on a male clientele too, you would have to do the 8 and 5 minutes. So you wouldn't do it anything more than that. So if you forgot to do the 8 and 5 and you did the 6 and 4, you could potentially go back and do it the half of the 6 minutes of the lash perm. But initially it'd be good to observe the brows, inspect them, see that they look unruly. If it is virgin brows, the first time doing it, then yes, you would go ahead and do the 8 and 5 minutes instead of the 6 and 4. Okay. If I missed your question, please re-ask it just in case. So after we do the non-oily makeup remover, we're going to then do the saline. So we need that double cleanse. So our non-oily eye makeup remover is also a micellar. So if they did come in, it's great that they don't come with makeup, but if they did and they had some kind of waterproof brow gel or something like that, it'd be really important to get that to pull out without an oil-based makeup remover. So the micellar, the technology of that will remove it. Okay. So we go over with the micellar. And for those who have attended so many of the webinars, you will see that it's a reoccurring process for cleansing. It's always the eye makeup remover and then the saline solution. Okay. So it's going to degrease everything, the saline solution. It's going to allow better preparation and penetration of all the solutions and the services. Okay. Even if they don't come with any makeup, please do this step because sometimes there'll be some makeup trapped there, or they might not put anything in their brows, but they would have something around their face, any powder, something like that, and it might have wet into the brows as well. Okay. Okay, no questions so far, but ask, and I know I'm going to answer. We're going to start off, now that we did this, the brows after being cleansed like this, twice. Take your little fan. Those who are already using the intense browns, see that we use a fan to get the drying time a little bit faster, right? So that we don't have to wait through it. We also have found that if you dry between the steps of the solutions, or even if the brows are really wet before you start putting solutions, you're going to have better results. The hairs are not wet, so they're going to be able to accept that service, those solutions better. So You will notice that I'm going to do it in the brow lamination, and I do it in the lash lifts as well. After I remove when I've cleansed the lashes, I dry them with the fan. And then when I put the lash perm solution, after it's over and I remove it dry, I dry the lashes before I put the neutralizer. So I'm going to do the same thing for the brows, and you will notice that your results become even more lifted. Can you explain why 8 and 5 and 6 and 4 means? Sure. So you have lash perm solution. Let's see if I can do it without making the camera blurry. You have the lash perm solution and you have the neutralizer. Lash perm is 6 minutes, neutralizer is 4 minutes. Okay, that's the new timings because the tubes that look like this with the pink, it's the new timings, 6 and 4. If you have somebody that has very unruly, thick, wiry like brows, then you will go 8 minutes for the lash perm and 5 minutes for the neutralizer. Nothing more than that can exceed. That's your max time you can go. Is that good? Stacey, let me know. Okay, so we have prepared. Skin is prepared. There we go. And the brows are prepared. So I don't teach to put protection cream because what happens when the brows are relaxing through step number 1, they get more longer, right? They're relaxed, they get long. During the 6 minutes of the step, we teach to go through in it halfway and start to brush it to see if the solution is taking and the hairs are relaxing. When you're doing that, the hairs are touching with the protection cream that you have around, and then it goes back into the hair, and then it becomes a barrier. So what I always do, which you'll notice, is as I'm applying the lash perm, if it touches the skin, I don't let it sit there for a prolonged time. I have a Q-tip to clean it up and remove it, and then I continue to apply. Okay, that way you preserve the skin and you don't compromise it. Okay. Can you tint with intense browns afterwards? Yes, you can, and the timing will stay the same. The tinting for the intense browns does not change. The tinting for the oxidative changes. Okay. You can start your timer. What people do is they have 2 set of timers. So they start your 8 minutes technically should be for both brows, right? So if you put the first brow through, you can start your timer. It's how you feel comfortable. I just put it through, and then when I put the second one, my timer is already started, and I know when to remove it early in the other one. But if 2 timers will help you, you can do that. But your full set of your timing should be 8 for both brows. And 8 and 5 is max for lashes as well. Yes, it is. This is what your solution looks like. So it's got a little bit of a pinky hue. If you squeeze it out and it came out very purple, your lash perm was oxidized. Squeeze that first portion out and get back to seeing this, because you'll see as we put it on the brows, they start to get dark purple, the color, and that means it's oxidizing. If it's already coming out from the tube, it's not going to be effective for that 6 or 4 or 5, 8 and 5 minutes. Is there damage on the brows after long use? Should they take breaks? Breaks are nice with anything we do. We do our nails with gels, gel, shellac, or whatever. A break is nice to have in between. So I would suggest the same thing with brows. Brows, you shouldn't do them any sooner than 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks, they should come back, not before that. Okay, because it is a chemical processing. And just like lashes, we say 6 weeks. Lashes do last longer with the lift. So they're okay. But brows, in the meantime, if you're selling a brow gel in your salon, offer them to purchase a retail item of a brow gel and even a brow pencil, just to be able to fill in their brows, keep their brows spruced up until the next visit in 6 weeks. So I'm applying the solution. As you can see, I already cleaned it off the skin. I like to do dabbing. I know a lot of people they like to brush it like this. You're also could irritate somebody's skin who's really sensitive. So I like to dab it on. That way too, if they have hair that sticks up through, if you grab a little ball on your end and you just dab it, it can hold that hair down, okay? Because we don't really teach using the glue. You can use the lash lift glue if you want, and we have videos on tutorial on our website to see how to use it effectively, because you could actually create a barrier if you use way too much glue, and then your lifting will not work, or your lamination will not work. Okay, I'm going to use a plastic film, and I'm sufficient with that. I don't really have to use glue. Okay, is the picture still blurry? On my end, it looks clear. Please let me know. It might get a little bit blurry every time I make a movement. Okay. Does the product expire after 2 years? I missed the answer. No, the product of the lash perm and neutralizer expire 2 months after opening. And then the product on the tubes has a stamp for close date. For example, my product says 0225. So my lash perm doesn't expire till February 2025 when it's closed. But otherwise, when they're open, 2 months, and the glue, 3 months. There was a question of, I just started my timer, but there was a question on what's the difference between the tint and the intense browns. I will get back to that. Give me 1 second. Let me just start my timer at 6 minutes, and I want to put plastic film on her brows. I'm just finishing off applying. And then at 3 minutes, I'm going to go in and check the brows. I go half the time, and then if I have time, I go once more inside. So I'm going to leave some solution for any leftover if I have to apply. I'm going to take a Q-tip because I don't want it to prolong on the skin. And also when you're applying your plastic film, don't press so tight on top. Like you don't want to make it so occlusive. You know, just rest it like that and leave it. Don't start like going like this and tightening it. Okay. So, lash lift without glue. I don't know if there's lash lift without glue at the moment. I think I'm hearing something about a technology without glue. I don't know. I think I was talking to somebody, but we currently use lash lift with glue. Brow lamination, you don't have to use the glue. But if you want to, we have videos. If using the adhesive first before the perm, does that affect the processing time? No, but that is why you have to make sure that you don't overdo it with the glue. Now, if you did overdo it with the glue, then you potentially have to use it 8 and 5 minutes, but just be mindful that you're not over processing. Did you use a saline solution when doing a regular brow tint too? I use a saline solution as a second step for every single RefectoCil service. With the oxidative tints, I find the colors come out crisp. So I would say yes. You already have it, utilize it. There was a question about what's the difference between intense browns and the original. Let me answer that. Let me see what other lash lifting products and tinting products expire after 3 years. They aren't open. No, so it varies, and that's with the lot number. So the lash lift products on mine that I just pulled out from the warehouse, it says 2025. So in a year and a half, it's going to expire. Okay, so they vary. Tints, solutions, they all vary. No worries, no worries. Do you shorten the time when wrapping brows? Okay, because with my model, Tori, we could have did the 8 and 5, but I don't want to because she's already done it twice with me. So I know that her brows are going to be a little bit more accepting. I just used the film, but technically, if you're using the plastic film, you should deduct 1 minute the perm solution from the timing, whatever timing you chose. Okay, because it's occlusive, it provides heat. I have a plastic film that was made for brows, so it's thinner. If you're using the kitchen one, it's more occlusive and it's much thicker, so it's a must to condense it a minute. Okay. I don't have saline. Where can I buy it? Ariel, you would have to go to our website and put in the contact there that you need help of where to purchase, and we will let you know. So go to RefectoCilEducation.com. I'm going to type that in. Everybody has a lot of questions, which is good. RefectoCilEducation.com, and it will come to me, and I'll be able to answer that. Okay, if someone has super sensitive skin, would you recommend using the glue to protect the skin under the hairs? The thing is, you're going to overdo it with the glue, and once again, you won't have the solutions penetrating, and in your mind, you're going to be like, oh, let me leave the times longer, and then you tend to leave them much longer than they should be, and then that's where the problem can happen. So if you're going to use glue to do that kind of protection under the skin, once again, when the solution starts to rest on the glue, it will dissolve it a little bit, so it could potentially still get to the skin, but just make sure that you're not overly putting glue just to protect the skin underneath. Okay. After you remove the step number 1, what do you do for those stubborn hairs that don't lay flat or seem not to have taken the solution? Well, that will vary if they're virgin hairs or not. Let me just pause on that question and go inside because I need to do half the timing and brush the brows to see how they're taking. Okay. So I'm going to lift up one side. I have these nice little dental sticks. So her brows are relaxing nicely. So at this moment, if you saw some hairs that were not relaxing properly, apply a little bit of more solution to that area and do that little ball thing that I said at the edge of your brush and dab it on so that it weighs it down. Okay? So that's what you would do if you so don't remove the solution. Do this that I did halfway through the timing. Check out that the brows are relaxing. If you saw areas that were not, dab some more of that solution there. And usually where the hair doesn't relax fast is this area here, the arch and the tail end sometimes. The beginning of their brows always tend to take it nicely because they're already, some of them already formed to going upwards. So I'm going to do the same thing. You can see that the hair is relaxing. Okay. I'm going to take my Q-tip and I'm going to leave it for the remainder of the time. Okay, if I had to add anywhere, I would add it. But her brows, I know the first time we had done her brows, I had to add some more, but this is her third time, so it's becoming acceptable. Okay, there we go. Oh, a little blurry when it does that. Too much movements, sorry. Nope, let me do that again. Doesn't want to unblur. There we go. Okay. So I order RefectoCil products from Amazon, but it takes time from where she. Once again, any purchasing products, please reach out to me on the website, and I will find a distributor that's in your region. Okay. The film will be on for the full timing on the model, and we only have a little bit of a minute left from the 6 minutes. So the question about what's the difference between intense browns and the regular oxidative tints. So the regular oxidative tints are these ones that we have like 8 colors. You know, this is the graphite. We have, oh, it's going blurry again. We have 8 colors and then the bleaching paste. These are oxidative. These are mixed with a peroxide and then it opens up the hair structure. So you have your volume, your 10 volume with your 3%, and that's all that should be used, nothing higher. And you mix it and it makes the hair structure porous. It opens up the hair structure and then the color drops right into that hair structure and then it seals up within that 24 hours, just like your hair dye on your hair. The intense browns is a plant base. It does not open up the hair structure. It coats the hair on the outer layer and it's a hybrid, so it stains the skin and colors the hair at the same time. Okay. The brow film, yes, not from directly for me, Roberta. Message me again on the website, or if you guys want to, you can message here, education at cbongroup.com. If you want to know where to purchase and where to find product, Education CBON Group, and I'll let you know where you can get the film, Roberta. Okay, so now our time is 30 seconds is up. So I'm gonna get a dry cotton round, not wet. We don't want to interfere the processing, the way. So basically the intense browns would replace henna. It would be like a henna, exactly, Danica. Do the intense browns need a developer? Nope, they do not. It is a 3-step process, and they're all done separately and not mixed. So you have the primer that prepares the skin for staining, which is the first step. Then you have the color gel, which is the second step. And then you have the activator, which once you do the activator, that's where the magic happens. And that's where you see the color start taking form. Okay, let me just see if I can make it go back. There we go. That's when it will start to take form. So all the color gels are clear until you reach that final, step, the activator. Okay, so that's why brow mapping is extremely important when doing the intense browns. Okay, so I'm going to remove with dry. Okay. And it's really important to pair up a brow lamination with a tint because sometimes for some people, the brow lamination can lighten the color a lot more. So, like their brow color can lighten a little bit, so you should put a tint afterwards, okay? Which tinting type are you demonstrating today? Today we're just doing oxidative because the last like 5 webinars were all in intense browns. So some people are asking for regular tinting. No question is stupid. Every question is good. Where will we find the recording for today? It will be emailed to you, and you should download it on your desktop right away. But you'll get an email, and after that, they go on our website as well. For unruly brows, is it safe to tell a client that the more they laminate, the better the results? Yes, they'll start to get used to the processing to the service. Yes. That's why I always say if I have a customer the first time and it's a virgin brow and it's their first time doing it and their brows are very unruly, I let them know and I warn them and I say it potentially might not take the first time properly or fully, but the next time you come, it can be fully showcased, your brow lamination. Yeah. So every time you come, it gets used to it. Okay, so there we go. They're all nice and relaxed. You can see they're much fuller. I'm not able to go to the questions at the moment because I'm multitasking and I can't see all the time. So if you can pause on the questions because I feel like I'm going to miss a couple, or you can repeat them if I miss them. But right now I'm just brushing them through. I'm making sure that there's no more solution on top of them. You can take your fan and do a little drying. Okay. Before you put the neutralizer. Now this step, the neutralizer is important because it's going to set back the brows into shape. So if we wanted to do the lifted here, you would have to try to set the brow into that shape from now. Okay. You can correct it afterwards too, but it's important just before you put the neutralizer just to set it into place again. Okay, so let me put the neutralizer, then I can go to the question. So just give me 1 second. So step number 2 is the neutralizer, the white tube with the gray writing that we had. And it's a creamier, it's white, it's more soothing. Different bowl, different brush, do not intermix. Okay? And then we're going to apply it. And if you want, you can put on this step as well the plastic film. I will because her brows are nice and thick, so I want to have them a little bit more controlled and to help make sure that the neutralizer sets the brows into place. If you wanted to do a laminated, really pressed down, yes, you would have to do both with the wrapping, with the plastic film. If you wanted to have the brows soapy or very fluffy, you would omit the plastic film so that they're more upwards and lifted and fluffier. Okay, you can when the solution is on. If I have another 1 second. Just kind of spread it a little bit through to get to the hairs. Because when I put the plastic film on, I do not disrupt. I don't open it and disrupt it. So you can put a little bit, brush it a little bit, seal it again, and then it's okay. Okay? Because once I put the plastic film or once the neutralizer is on, you try not to disrupt the processing because now it's trying to set the brows into shape. Just like the lashes too when you do this step. Okay, so let me apply this. Let me do the little brush again. So my timer's already like at 4 minutes already, so because it's been processing with the other brow. I'm going to take a Q-tip, even though that neutralizer is nice and soothing, I still don't want it resting on all the skin. I'm going to put the plastic film on. Okay. And we're going to leave it for the remainder of the time. Okay, so let me go now to your questions. Okay, let me go a little bit up. Where the brows wax before? No, the waxing is done at the end. If you do it before, you will have open pores. You will cause irritation, sensitivity. So you should always do the shaping afterwards. Plus, you can see the shaping nicely when it's done afterwards. Okay, you can see. I mean, you can see the brows nicely afterwards because you've tinted them, you've shaped them, and now you can like you shape them with the intense browns. And now when you do any type of hair removal, you're going to do it accurately and properly because you see every single hair. Probably instruction manual says not to use so much. What's best? Self-centered is selling RefectoCil. Do it may seem that I'm using a lot. My piece size is a little bit more. I always do a little bit more to leave it extra in the bowl if I have to go back and apply some more when I'm brushing. When the brows are thicker, your solution is a lot more. So if her brows are thinner, the piece size would be a lot less. You need to be able to saturate the hairs, especially when they're thick. If you don't saturate them properly enough, then you won't have that relaxing, or you will not have that setting into place. Sorry, what do you use for take off the relaxing? Dry cotton swab. Dry. I find the light brown looks like black after lamination. What do you recommend? How long are you leaving it on? Elaine? What do you know your email? I put the email down. What is a regular brown tint? So when doing a regular brow, there's a lot of questions. When doing a regular brow tint and mixing colors, do you need to mix the colors first before adding the 3%? You can add them first and then do the 3%. Like do your equal parts, you mean? So if you're using 2 colors, mix them first and then do your oxidant. Yes. I get nervous when tinting after lamp because it always comes out way too dark. Because sometimes I've only had to leave it on for a minute and a half. Even though our instructions say you can leave it up to 3 minutes, it's up to 3 minutes, which means anything from 3 minutes and under, the hair is porous, it's going to accept the tint fast. So don't just leave it straight full minutes. And what I do is I put the tint first. I say, I'm gonna leave it 3 minutes. At a minute and a half, I check one brow. If I still feel that I could go a little bit darker, then I have some tint left and I go back and I put it on. But don't leave it straight full 3 minutes that you haven't even checked to see how it's taking. Okay, let me go back down to see any questions. So dry. It's better now. Thank you. If you're planning to trim, would you do it before you start lamp or not at all? I do it after. Sometimes if you trim before and then the hairs relax, it might look uneven. I always do that at the end with the shaping. Hair removal after lamination and tint and wax. Yes, it's the waxing at the end. Correct. If you're doing brow lamination and waxing, yep, same questions. Okay, so did I catch up to all the questions? Because now it's time to remove the excuse me, the neutralizer. Let me know if I answered all the questions. If I didn't, please re-ask it again. How many times in a row can you do lamination before giving a break? Like I said, if they're doing it after every 6 weeks and they have the proper aftercare, the care balm and the styling gel, then they should be okay to do it every 6 weeks. Maybe sometime in the winter time they'll give it a more of a break, and maybe in the summertime they want this more because they're outdoors and they're enjoying the sun and so forth, and they want less makeup. So I can't really suggest when they can have their break, but maybe if they've done it like say 6 times, they give a little bit of a couple of month 2 month break and then they start again, it should be okay. But if they're always using aftercare, they will be fine. And as long as a professional is also not over processing. Okay, so time's up. I'm going to remove the plastic film. I'm going to take my spoolie and I'm just going to, same with lash lift, same thing. It would be, because we don't get people complaining about the RefectoCil breaking. And if we did have somebody and I asked them how often do you do it? And they tell me, oh, they come in every like 3, 4 weeks. Oh, I left the timing on for 10, 15 minutes. Well, all that plays a part and as to why. Always follow the manufacturer label. That's why it's there with the instructions for your benefit and your client's benefit. So I'm just brushing it through first just to spread it through, and I'm going to remove it after with a cotton swab. A dry cotton swab still, just to remove that extra. Okay. And then just before we go to do the part of the tinting. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, saline solution. I'm going to clean the brows with a little bit of saline solution. Okay, just to prepare them for the tinting. So now you can see the brows stay in place of where I brushed them before they were not, right? Okay, so I've done that. So let me do a little bit, and don't overly wet your pads with all these solutions. Remember, we want the hairs not to be so soaked because their pores are open now, so we don't want to diminish the effect, right? So very little, couple drops. Okay. So now the brows are going to be prepped for tinting. I'm going to take them again and just brush them. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can see how nice, full. Have you ready for the next slide? No worries, it's gonna be recorded, Kimberly. Sorry, I got cut off right now. You were just setting them into place. So we already did step 1 and 2. We're getting into the tint now. So I already did step 1 and 2. So you see, even after lamination, if you do the intense browns, you can get all these little gapped areas in there filled out as well. So you would need a primer. Okay, but we're just doing the regular. But the intense browns would get that in there, that staining in the skin. Okay. Is it a scar that you have there?
Maybe.
Or just like oh, okay. Okay. So let's do the tinting, mix the tinting. Tori, if I remember correctly, we did the light brown that you liked. Okay. So we're going to do the light brown. Her hair is lighter and is warmer, her hair. So the light brown will be just enough. Once again, the same thing, even though it's light brown, it's not the natural brown. You're like, oh, okay, I'm going to leave it 3 minutes. No, monitor it at 1.5 minutes to see how it's taking. Okay. Once it's your customer that's regular, you become used to what the color is going to look like on them after lamination. But the best thing is to check halfway through and see how it's processing, how it's taking. Okay, so I'm going to take my natural brown. I'm going to squeeze my just 1 centimeter. I don't really need to put that much. So I have my nice little palette on my hand. I have my nice little palette. And then I have the light brown. And then I'm going to mix it. And mix the oxidant. So I'm using cream. No big difference with cream and liquid. It's just your preference in texture. Oh. Okay. So with this, I'm going to drop about 8 drops because I'm not doing the full 15 because I didn't do 2 centimeters of tint. Okay. Also, the cream is really easy to do equal parts. And you're going to mix it until you get a beautiful cream base. A nice creamy texture. No lumps, nothing. I'll show you. Let me just mix it. Now, if you had somebody like Tori, she has nice warm hair, like her hair is pretty warm. If you had somebody that wasn't a warm tone and they're like, well, I really want it to look cooler, my brows, because I do have a warm undertone, but my hair is not warm. It's cool. I want my brows to be cool. you can use the graphite and mix it equal parts with your brown to cool it down so it will work like an ash. Okay. Sometimes the color doesn't mix well. Do you have any ideas as to why? Just check to make sure that your first portion that you squeezed out wasn't dark. If it's darker, then it might be that it's been oxidized. Throw that away, and then your next portion should be good because I just opened up my tube, squeeze it out, and it's so nice and creamy. There's no lumps or anything. So just make sure, close your tubes right away. As I'm doing my webinar right now, all my tubes are shut right away. Otherwise, they oxidize and then you won't have the proper consistency. Okay, but it is very, very smooth. Okay. Everybody good so far? Okay, also, what is the timing for the color when not laminated? When not laminated, you can do between 3 to 5 minutes as somebody who wants it more natural looking, 5 to 10 if they want it a little bit more darker, and then up to 10 to 15 if they want it more dramatic. So I'm starting a little bit more on the ends here because she does have less hair there, so I want the color to process more. Here, okay, so at this point now, you can put the protection cream. It went blurry. Oh, there we go. I'm careful when I'm more of a clean tinter, and I always take a Q-tip and just clean up. But now is where you can put the protection cream so that when you're staining, when you're doing the tinting, you're not staining unnecessarily the skin. So I'm gonna let those start processing. So that's what you could always do. Now you can apply it on the whole brow and then remove the first portion first and leave the rest of the portion longer. Or you can apply first, let it start processing. I'm just gonna spread a little bit the tint through. I love these spoolies. You guys are gonna love these silicone spoolies. They're like my best friend. So especially for intense browns. I'm gonna take my Q-tip. Oh, so already, the brows on the ends have been for a minute, but I know the ends need more coloring, so I'm not really worried. I'm gonna put it at the beginning now. And as well, if you want to do an ombre look, you can remove the beginning first. Okay, trying to clean the edges again. And nice and clean. Okay, so that's already been on for almost 2 minutes. I'm going to show you how to do a test. Oh, sorry, light brown, just light brown. Sorry, thank you for answering. Can you please provide your email address as I want to purchase a few products? Okay, so education. Oh, give me 1 second. So I'm going to show you guys the check how I do it. Let me just write this. Okay, educationscbngroup.com. Okay, now I can just take my Q-tip and remove the outer end. So the brows have darkened. with the light brown, but that was after 2 minutes. So it's not black, as you can see. She still has the warmth in them. So for those that, once again, that they had a little bit of the black in them, I don't know why I did that, but for her, it's still, you can still see the warmth. So I'm actually going to leave it for the full 3 minutes. I'm going to close this and leave it for another minute. Okay. Okay. Good so far? Okay. Hi, sorry, I was a little bit late. Don't worry, it's okay. This will be recorded, so it's all good. Is there a brow mapping webinar? We don't just a brow mapping webinar. All the videos for brow mapping and the protocols are online. But when we do the intense browns, we do show the regular brow mapping, like the basic brow mapping with the 3 points with our brow mapping pencil. But we have videos on our website, tutorials with it for you to view. Yeah. Okay. So I can start removing it from the beginning of the brow. And still leave a little bit on the rest of the brow. So guys, you can see that like the camera obviously doesn't reflect the right color, but right now I can still see warmth in her brow. So it's not black. So that means like if you use it, if I were to use a natural brown on her and left it this long, oh yeah, it would be very dark. And because I left the tail end longer, her brow color is now uniformed. And I remove it dry. Dry, dry, dry. I don't put water after the tint. Intense browns? Yes. Oxidative tint? Nope. I let it stay rich, the color. And just make sure that you remove it all. Okay. Perfect. So now we're going to do the other side. There we go. I'm just removing the beginning just to see that it's matching the other side with the timing. Once again, some people do the 2 timings. Turn this way a little bit. Thank you. So I'm slightly going to leave this on for a little bit, 30 more seconds, just to keep it. So it has a little bit of a little bit more warmth in this one than the other side. So I'm just going to put it on. So that's why I always check the brows through. I always go and I check them halfway just to make sure. And I'm correcting it, you know, understanding that I've had Tori before like 2 more times. Like I know what she wants. So I'm able to do this correction on my own without asking the your client. Do you remove it with water? Nope, it's all dry. Dry, dry, dry. Did you remove water? Would you say this whole service would take? With brow lamination, intending to only take 30 minutes, between 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your shaping. As a webinar, we're talking, so it's a little bit longer. Dry cotton round, yes. What's the aftercare for lamination? How long until the brows can get wet? Within the 24 hours, don't get them wet. Don't put like heavy oils on them. Don't go to saunas, humidity, like gym and stuff like that, because all that sweat can play a role. And then after the 24 hours, you're okay. You know, and sell them an aftercare as well to maintain the hydration. Sorry for the camera keeps going blurry. There we go. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to make sure I clean it again. Perfect. If they needed any shaping, it would be done at this moment now. And then after that, you would apply your aftercare. I actually want to just show something because I did a little training with RefectoCil with Austria. Thank you. We're going to put the styling, the aftercare, you'll see it a little bit better, but you see the coloring? It's still, you can still see her hairs. It's not too dark. It's still going to match. There's still warmth in it. From my end here, I can still see there's warmth in her brows. But one thing I learned, what is the suggested charge for the brow lamination alone? And for the, okay, so brow lamination is on its own is between 75 to 95, up to 125 or 150 you can charge for it all, which is the lamination, the tinting, the shaping. Your tinting, obviously, with intense browns changes the price a little bit because intense browns takes a little bit longer. Your service time would be like an hour, so you would charge a little bit more. Okay, but on its own, it's between 75 to 95. So we have the Care Balm. Okay, and we always teach a styling gel. Your hero product for you to end all your RefectoCil services is with the styling gel. And send it home with them, like they have to pay the retail price and they can take it home with them right away after their service. But you can slightly a little bit, because it's a dry oil, use the Care Balm, but do not rub it in. Do not like massage it in. Just take a little bit on your glove. Just a little bit on the glove, and you can take a spoolie, but just don't sit there. You know, this product is meant to massage in when you go to sleep because it's a mask, but just take a little bit, very little. Very, I'm doing very little. You can't barely even see it on the brush, but I'm conditioning it. I'm sealing it in, and the brow is staying into place, and it's giving a little shine. But very, once again, little, and I'm not sitting there massaging it in, you know, because when I'm at home and I wear this, I massage it in. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, and using the dental stick also helps, so you're not putting so much on. Okay, and I'm going to, so it gives it a little bit nice of a gloss, but very little. I'm going to clean around the skin. And there you go. That's how you would end it. Let me see. Hopefully it won't go too blurry. But what do you guys feel? Okay, what is it just sure for? We did that. Where do you buy the blue brush? The little dental stick? The little dental sticks, you can order them on Amazon. Okay, so guys, can you see thank you, the results? So I can see if I can zoom a little bit more in. Did that zoom in a little bit more? There we go. So I zoomed it in. How do you guys feel? Yeah? Thank you. Now, you see down here, you know, you can pluck a little bit. Our webinar is done though, but you know, it was only an hour today, but you could always obviously go down here and clean those extra hairs. So you can get that even beginning of the brow. So you can go do some cleaning, because now before you put the aftercare, you can do some cleaning, but I can just clean some of the ones down there so that the brow is not uneven at the bottom. But that's all you would have to do. But otherwise, you see how easy it is to do the brow lamination. There's a lot of steps to it. It's not like you have to do the lashes, where you have to roll the lashes. So it's pretty quick. Okay, you guys feel good?
Everything's good? Yeah? Beautiful results and great information. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Oh, thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Annie. Can you share the website where the past webinars are, please? Sure. Yeah, you can wax now. We're not waxing, Tori, but we can. You can do a little cleanup just to make sure that the brows are even. But it's education RefectoCil. Thank you, guys. RefectoCil education.com. So for those of you that have bought it and didn't do anything with it, come on, get on and do something. Your clients are going to want you to do brow lamination. It is such a quick and easy service. So don't miss out on those quick, easy add-on services that bring great revenue. And for those of you that are already doing it and maybe have some difficulties with it, hopefully this webinar is helping you guys now to perform it correctly according to the manufacturer and get those results. Thank you, everybody. I really do appreciate. Follow us on Instagram. We have RefectoCil North America and Browista by RefectoCil. Follow us, share us your work. We will tag it as well, and we will share it on our stories. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Irina. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. I am waving my goodbyes with my fingers. And we thank Tori as well for being a model. You open up your eyes if you want so they can see your complete. There we go. You can see the complete with her eyes as well. Okay? Yeah, when you open up the eyes, it looks like even put together. Okay, thank you guys. Bye. Okay, so